This week, NFL Films presents the pressure cooker world of the place kicker, plus pro football's sizzling small fry, and the low boiling point of scrappy Conrad Dover, who brought down bigger men and walked all over them. NFL Films presents. I'm Harry Callis along with Steve Sable. The career of an NFL place kicker is a perfect subject for comedy, Steve. Billy Crystal would have a field day with it. For 60 minutes, 22 men beat each other's brains out in a great American game, just so some guy with a foreign-sounding name who kicks soccer style can come from the sideline and decide the outcome of a contest in a matter of seconds.
It does sound kind of absurd, Harry, but it's no laughing matter for the men who have to do it. They're only as good as their last kick. Many of them move from team to team. They're sort of like gypsies. The pressure is overwhelming, and how they perform when a game is on the line determines whether they will be crowned king of the hill or handed goat's horns.
That's right. If someone asked me whether I'd rather defuse bombs or be a pro football place kicker, I'm not sure I'd be able to supply an immediate answer. Both jobs can blow up in your face.
You have 11 guys that fight their guts out, hitting and slugging and kicking and knocking and banging and tackling and running and going over the top of each other. And let's face it, you turn around at the crucial point in the game and you call in somebody that has not hit a lick.
It is a place kicker's peculiar fate that when a game comes down to a field goal in the final seconds, the man trying that field goal can become an instant hero or instant goat.
Because there is such a fine line between, winning and losing, success and failure, I think in that situation you find a lot about yourself and how you're going to deal with yourself in a pressure situation. You're talking about a profession that's, a couple of inches could make or break you. The most difficult part is just dealing with the failures.
I was around a lot of the guys that made the field goal when you're head 43 to 14. He may hit the 56-yarder. Then you're down 14 to 12 and miss the 17-yarder. I was around a lot of those kind of personalities.
It's unfortunate that it comes down to that, and of course the classic statement is it should never have come down to that because we do have the other players. But in the final analysis, you're looking at a fellow that's in a critical situation, and if he comes through, he's a hero. If he doesn't, he's a bum.
We expect almost perfection, we meaning everybody, themselves included. And I think more than anything else, the really good ones have an ability to accept the misses and go on and not allow that to be what they build their career on.
Jan Stenerud of the Vikings is the NFL's most prolific kicker. And while playing for the Chiefs in 1971, he suffered one of the most memorable misses ever when his last-second 32-yarder sailed wide against the Miami Dolphins on Christmas Day. The Chiefs eventually lost the longest game in NFL history and a chance to return to the Super Bowl. But Stenerud never lost his poise or the confidence of those around him.
Field goal! Okay, young baby, kick it over!
Throughout the 1970s, Stenerud was uncommonly dependable, and unlike most kickers, he managed to play for only one team.
Yeah!
Each summer for 13 years, number 3 had fought off the challenge of many good young kickers. But in 1979, Kansas City elected to go with young Nick Lowry, number 8. After failing to make 8 other teams, Lowry finally found a home and sent Stenerud packing and on to the gypsy life that most kickers experience early in their careers.
But when these guys come into the pro game, they have to drop down to the ground from the tee. It just takes so much perfection, and therefore it's frustrating, in the pros, because the guys have so much pressure on them. They're not really skilled yet. So what you see in the league is you see kickers floating from one team to the next team, and then all of a sudden they make it big. Septien's one that went from the Rams, went to Detroit, came to us. And finally they get where they perfect the techniques they should have perfected a lot earlier.
If you want to know about the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat, forget the wide world of sports and ask Neil O'Donohue. Number 11 plays for the St. Louis Cardinals, and he has ridden the place kicker's roller coaster of emotion. In 1977, O'Donohue began his pro career with the Buffalo Bills and lasted 6 games. In 1979, his last second field goal won a division championship for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But he is remembered less for his clutch kick than for one madcap misadventure.
We lined up for the snap, and the snap went about 10 feet over my head. I turned around, looked for the ball, and instead of picking it up, my first instinct was to kick it. I tried to kick it out of bounds, left-footed, and I completely missed it. So they picked up the ball. I'm there rolling around, and they're running down 70 yards down the field. They always cut it at that time, but what it doesn't show is that even though I have only 5-something speed, somehow I managed to get the guy out and tackle him on the 4-yard line. But they never show that. I don't know. I don't know why. I guess that's not funny.
Tampa Bay's John McKay waived him in 1980. But since then, the Cardinals' Jim Hannafin has been willing to live with the ups and downs of Neil O'Donohue. And though he's had some memorable misses, he's won more games than he has lost, including the 1985 opener against Cleveland.
Kick up high. It's long. It is good! And the Cardinals win the football game. And away.
The place kicker. His importance is without question. But whether or not he is the oddball he's cracked up to be might just depend upon which side of the holder you're standing.
I think maybe with the younger people, you're going to find it a little bit strange. But on the other hand, I think you find that when you got 44 other guys out there and they're beating heads and you're the only one on the sideline looking at them, maybe they're the oddballs and I'm the one with a little bit of sense.